wrestling fans, and we are the degenerates that want to talk about it. This is Kicking Out at 2. I am Michael. With me, as always, is Tori. Hey, Tori. Subtle wave. Subtle wave. Doing the queen thing. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. Be careful, you might get run off the road.
Wow.
Too soon? Too soon? We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. Before I get canceled, we're just going to move right along.
Pushing forward.
So tonight we got a really good match card. Best of 7 series for the AEW Trios Championship. We have the match 7, the end of all of it. We have Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. Bryan Danielson versus Takeshita.
Which
Takeshita,
was a hell of
right?
a match.
Yeah. Okay.
That shit was a hell of a match.
I always get confused, like, saying the names of the Oriental wrestlers.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Because it looks like Takeshita.
Yeah.
But
yeah, MJF referred to him as Takeshita one time.
I remember that. We got Jungle Hook versus Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. We have Saraya and Tony Storm, big surprise, versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. We also have a nice little troll moment by production, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And then Jericho Appreciation Society did a little promo, and nobody cared. So we start off the night, though, with Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. We're finally getting this ultimate match that we've been begging for, and they beat the hell out of each other.
They beat the dog piss out of each other.
Yeah. I would dare I say Page did put Moxley's dick in the dirt.
He did not. Yeah.
Just an absolute hardcore match between both of them. We got plenty of lariats.
I am not a fan of the end of this match.
I'm not either, and so let's talk about how it ended. So most of the match, Moxley's kind of pointing towards the injury that we've had with Adam, doing a lot of focus on the head area, kind of walking away when he hit him with something and he lays there, indicating that, okay, no, I knocked him out again. All right, and then he's done. But we ended up Page uncorked one last buckshot lariat, and then got the pinfall victory. As Page is celebrating his win, Moxley is laying on the ground and staying there. And then we have Doc Samson come out and check on him. We have Yuta come out and check on him, and he's stumbling. And so it seems like, if it's not legit, which I haven't heard anything about it being legit, it seems like we're playing the opposite now of now Mox is hurt because of a head injury. And
I believe Hangman had an actual concussion.
Yes.
Because that King Kong lariat was nasty.
Yeah, he landed hard on the side of his head with that one.
Was not anywhere near the lariat that Hangman took.
Mm-hmm.
And with as many problems as we have with CTE and so on with wrestling, stop it. I'm not a fan of this angle. I'm not a fan of it at all. Quit messing with head stuff. It's not funny. Look at Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Look at Adam Cole. Britt tweeted about it that he didn't go anywhere. He went to doctor's appointments. He didn't want to leave the house.
Mm-hmm.
Or he couldn't because of how bad he felt.
Yeah.
Quit playing with this. Quit making this a thing. Stop it.
Yeah, head injury things, like it's something not to be played with. I mean, it affects your equilibrium, it affects your ability to see, it affects your sensitivity to light, to sound. It affects
and things you do that you may not have ever actually done, a la somebody we don't mention.
Exactly.
So I'm not a fan of this. I don't care if they never have another match. Stop this.
Yeah. So, and so as the cameras fade out and go to break, there was some video. I mentioned Yuta. Yuta came down and checked on him. So I hope he's not injured. I do.
Right.
If we are playing this up for an angle, though, I think it's in poor taste. I think it's not something we need to see. We could have not done this and have been fine.
Hangman's original injury was legit. All the
Yeah.
other stuff since then, whatever, it was an actual injury. If this is not an actual injury,
Yeah.
we stopped doing chair shots to the head because we knew what they did to people.
Yeah.
We've stopped doing shots to the head intentionally that can do damage. Stop doing this. It's not cute. It's not a good angle. It's not smart. It doesn't make me think any better of Moxley or Hangman. Stop it.
Well, and with me, it's just the idea that, so I mean, are we literally just turning this entire rivalry on its head? And now Mox is going to be the one that's hurt, and Page is going to say he's weak, and so we're playing it the opposite way now.
Well,
However,
and
Page did look concerned.
I was getting ready to bring that up. That Hangman actually looked worried that
Yeah,
he'd hurt him, and to me, that's the reaction you should have.
right,
Moxley looked unhappy that the match was stopped when Hangman got hurt. I don't think he realized the severity.
right,
But John Moxley does not strike me as the kind to be like, I don't care, you're not hurt, get up, you pussy, when it's a legitimate injury.
right.
So like I said,
We'll see where it goes.
right.
The interesting thing was the fact of how Adam looked. So if Moxley's playing up a thing in the story to make it seem like he's hurt, for him to take more out on Adam, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see where this story goes, and what it does. But I agree with you. I don't like playing with the head injury at the end of the night. Um, we'll see. It was interesting that through the match, though, Moxley was playing a little more heel. He did the middle fingers to the crowd a few
Oh, he very
times.
much was.
Yeah, so he was very much playing a heel. Um, so kind of interested to see where that goes too. Like, was he just a heel because he's facing Paige? So he's playing that tweener thing, and then he's going to come out next week and be perfectly fine? I don't know, but
I feel like Paige is, at this point, the ultimate babyface.
mm,
The fans love him.
they do. Um, I'll be honest, I'm still not quite sold on him, but I don't know. He may still grow on me yet. Because every time that he gets in a spot where he's going to be there for a while for me to get a good look at him, something happens, and then he's
He's
not
like a
there for a while.
rash.
Hangman Adam Fungus. So we come back from break. We have Tony Schiavone in the ring, and he says he has the unfortunate job to introduce this man. And then we hear the sweetest sound I have heard in a long time. We hear it's all about the boom. Adam Cole comes out. Uh, Amazing promo, heartfelt. Um,
I will totally own the fact that I am a humongous Adam Cole mark
I
all
am
day.
too. I am too.
I had not seen a ton of his stuff before he came to NXT, and I fell in love with him in NXT. And then I've seen some of his stuff from Japan and ROH.
Hmm.
I love Adam Cole.
Yeah. I saw his stuff when it was the Mount Rushmore wrestling, and he was great then. And it was kind of one of those, like, when ROH kind of dwindled and went away, I almost forgot about Adam Cole. And then he showed up in NXT, and I'm like, holy hell, he's even better now than he
And that
was
was
then.
that was after a New Japan run
Yeah.
in the Bullet Club.
Yep. Um, so it seems like we're getting a face Adam Cole, which is fine. We've got plenty of heels to go along with it.
I don't feel like we have enough high quality faces, so I'm good with this.
Yeah. And especially since we have a heel champ right now. Like, him versus MJF is something I would not have a problem with at all.
Oh my god,
Those
that shit would be
promos would
so
be
good.
amazing. Couple little snippets, transcripts from Bleacher Report. I've given you nothing for 6 months, but you were still there for me. For that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you. Um, he mentions that it's a good news, bad news situation. He says the good news is that he's here. The bad news, it's not
See,
for me. The bad news is for the entire AEW locker room because Adam Cole is back and I'm not going anywhere.
when he said the good news, bad news, I was like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back with that line, and I was like, yes.
Yep. Certainly excited to see what happens with Adam Cole. I'm glad to see him back. I big proponent of him on YouTube, his streams. He definitely has. I don't know if you've ever been and watched any of his streams. He definitely has built an amazing community with the Chugs Army. Um,
Nice.
so it's really
I'm,
good to
I'm a big
see.
fan of him with the party because
Yeah.
Xavier Breeze and Claudio, that's great stuff.
Have you seen the music video?
There's a music video.
There is a music video. Gotta have to watch that later. Um,
Yeah, I'm about to find that.
Absolutely amazing. Um, so that leads us to Jungle Hook versus Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. Pretty damn good match for what it was. The big spot, obviously, is Hook being able to T-bone Big Bill and took it like a champ. He got up so high, almost throwing him all the way across the other side of the ring. Amazing. And then the
And Big
look
Bill
on his
sold the
face.
shit out of that.
Yeah, and then the look on his face after he slides out of the ring and he's just like, what? In fact, actually, you can see him mouth the words, what the F? Like he just, um, absolutely wonderful selling for it. Um, Jungle Hook did end up defeating them. It was a nice little thing for them to get. I, I like the conflicting attitude that Taz kind of had for this because Taz normally does kind of skew more heel in his
Right.
commentary, but it is his son, and so he kind of had this little bit of conflict. It seemed of like what he was trying to say of how good his son was doing. So it was really good of a match. It's always good to see um, young guys really getting over, and just in general, like Jungle Boy is over so bad, like
Hook is too.
yeah, and Hook is Hook got Rookie of the Year uh, award from I think it was from the Wrestling Observer.
Really?
Yeah, which
Nice.
I mean, hard fight between him and Logan because Logan did amazing this year with what little he got. Um, but I mean, Hook for someone who came out there and I watched for the first time and went, "There's no way this kid's getting over." To where he is now,
Just,
like it's to me
yeah.
it's a good comparison. He's a small Goldberg because it was the same thing. Goldberg came out, black trunks, nothing special about him, beat Hugh Morris. And it's like, okay. And then 3-4 weeks later, people are like, holy shit, this dude's legit.
Yes and no. I see the comparison. Honestly, I feel like in just a little bit that Hook has done, he's way more over than Goldberg was.
Yeah, no. I definitely
But
don't
in
disagree
terms of
there.
how, yes, in terms of just how it's gone, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I mean, he came out. I didn't think he was winning that first match, and then he won it handily, and then continued to go on a squash fest of everybody.
He's steamrolled. I've really liked how they've booked Hook. Um, I appreciate Taz doing the commentary and talking about the moves themselves that
Yes.
he's doing. I think it makes him feel more important.
Well, and it's like specifically with the T-bone, like he mentioned it's all about the hips, and he was like,
He popped his
if
hips, and
if you
that
pop
was
your hips right, it doesn't matter how big the other guy is, you're gonna get him over. And just that little statement because it comes from personal experience. He's a very
right.
small guy and he used to suplex big ass dudes.
Right.
Seeing him throw around Bam Bam back in the day, like,
Big
was
Dick
always
Dudley.
amazing. Yeah. Um, I do like how they teased it at first, where like he went to get him up, and then like he kept kind of pushing him away, because again, it's like when we mentioned on the SmackDown review, it's Raquel's big, she should be able to slap people out of the sky. Same thing here. If
Yeah.
he goes to get him up, he should be able to just shove him off. Um,
Right.
so he gets him by surprise later because of a little help from Jungle Boy. Um, so it's definitely good to see there. Uh, that leads us to Danielson versus Takeshita. Really good match.
Did you catch the botch that they turned into something else?
No.
So Danielson ended up on was supposed to get up on Takeshita's shoulders like a either a poison rana or he was going to turn and do something like from up on his shoulders. Well, he
Yeah.
fell forward. I don't know if it was just going to be a roll up even, but he fell forward and Takeshita caught him and then just basically dropped to his knees to make it look like that's what they were supposed to do.
So I saw that move. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that was a botch.
the beginning of it, if you see when you see Daniel get up there, he starts to kind of go forward and just falls off of Takeshita's shoulders.
Oh
He catches
shit.
him and just keeps going.
Well done, because that just looked like a move to me.
Exactly. No,
It was
I
definitely a
somebody
move that made me say "Holy shit!" Because when he
I
dropped,
saw
I'm
a
like,
tweet
"Oh
about it and I
damn!"
was like, "Oh shit." Cuz I had to watch it a couple of times to really see how the whole thing had played. Yeah, it I say that. That's how it looked to from what I saw in the video. Someone said that that's what it was. Um it may have been a planned spot, but it did not look like a planned spot specifically.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just a Takeshita was good enough to catch him and stop him from falling and then go, okay, well, I've got to keep going. So I'm just going to do this move, which will move into this move.
Yeah. The kind of run through with this is that Daniel seemed to hurt his knee uh, in the fight, but he did end up shaking that off. He did the stomps to Takeshita, and then again one with the Regal stretch. So
He's been doing that. I
yeah,
think if he beats MJF, it's going to be with the Regal stretch.
yeah, it should be. That's perfect storytelling. If he's going to win with that.
I agree.
That's a perfect turnaround for that. Um, so I mean, we're still leading towards then that it's going to be a 30-minute Iron Man match with MJF. I will say, like, obviously we're going to do that. Like, we're not going to tee that up and then not do it. I'm very excited by that because one, Brian can wrestle a broom
Right.
and make it look great for 30
100%.
minutes. Um, and MJF is good, but I don't think he's had his metal tested like that.
Right.
And
That
so,
Iron Man match is going to be so amazing.
yeah, so it's going to be good to see what MJF can pull out of a 30-minute Iron Man match.
Hour.
Or it's an hour? Okay.
An hour. It's a 60-minute.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
And
it's going to
there's
be
no
good.
chance that at some point before that match, MJF does not attack Brian Danielson and go after that knee.
Yeah. I did forget to mention so after Takeshita came down before Brian came out,
MJF came out.
MJF came out normal heel stuff. He's making fun of Freddie Prinze Jr., he's making fun of Ken Jeong. Um fun little stuff. Little nerd thing for me. I don't know if you've ever heard of G4 TV. So one of the co-hosts, Gina Darling, was sitting right next to Freddie Prinze, and so I got to see her on my TV again, which I was very excited for.
That's who that was. I was like, I know her. I don't know who that is, but I know
Yeah,
I know her.
very funny, very gorgeous woman. It was really good to see her on TV. She's had fun on Twitter recently because of the pop up. Everybody's having fun. One of my favorite things is it was a self-deprecating joke. He always talks about how big her forehead is, and someone mentioned it's sad that Freddie Prinze Jr. couldn't get better seats. Like they sit him right next to the Titantron. So I just had to giggle. It was fun. Uh, so this leads us to Saraya and Tony Storm versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. They wanted to apparently get out the surprise really quickly because Tony was the first one that came out.
That's all I
Um,
have to say about this match. It was so bad.
I I'm not gonna say that. I personally I liked the match. I tried my best to eliminate the fact that it was Tony Storm and her, and versus anybody else that could have been in this match. Um, but for the match itself, I enjoyed it. I'll be honest, I turned the volume down so I couldn't hear the crowd because I'm pretty sure the crowd wasn't going to be into it, and just try to watch it for the moves it was. Jamie Hayter was amazing. Britt Baker doing her. I love that neck breaker suplex thing she does off the apron. That always looks really pretty. Um, and Saraya, I mean, she's Soraya's such a star, and so seeing her out there was a lot of fun too. Um, the ending of this though, we have Sheeta come down. Um, everything okay?
Yeah, my camera's just being stupid.
Okay. So Sheeta comes down about halfway through the match. Um, we get to a point where everybody's down. She slides in her kendo stick in between Tony Storm
I started to
and
say she slid that right between them too.
yeah,
Like, don't tell me we're not getting to see a heel turn.
yeah, slid it right in between her and Britt. Britt got to it. I will say I don't like how that part was booked because Britt just kind of popped right up after the thing was thrown in, and Tony didn't move at all. To me, there should have been a little bit of like both of them look at it, both of them go for it, type of thing. But it is what it is. That's nitpicking. Um, so Britt ends up using the kendo stick, which leads to a haterade, and we end up getting Baker and Hater defeating Saray and Storm. Um, I mentioned that there was a little, what could have been a little thing. So they go to break, and there's video of the lights going down, and then the Titantron being the only thing lit, and you can hear the crowd like gasp because what do you think's going to happen? You just had a women's tag match. You've
Oh,
got the
yeah, you
women's,
think it's Mercedes.
so you think she's going to pop out, and then they just showed something for Dynamite, and you could hear the entire crowd just groan. So it's kind of funny. Uh, People were really wanting to see Mercedes, and I don't disagree with them. They hyped
Right.
it. They hyped it up themselves. They set themselves up for that failure.
Yes,
Um,
they did. If they weren't getting it done, they should have said a long time ago, in some way or another, made it known she wasn't going to be there.
See, I'm even fine if they didn't say that she wasn't going to be there, but there were so many little nods and teases.
Right.
They should have just not done those, because you had the thing where Britt did the interview and she talked about how she was the boss of the division, and then winked at the camera.
I started to say, it wasn't, yes, the word, but it was the, ha, there's my wink. And
Yeah,
yeah, no, they definitely teased it. And it makes me wonder if they weren't trying to make it happen and then realized it wasn't going to happen. And so they just went with Tony Storm.
yep. So
I
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I love Tony Storm. I think she's amazing. It was a huge letdown for this match, and it made me not care about it.
Yep, I agree. Um, so then we hear from Jericho Appreciation Society. Um, we get their Backstreet Boys style entrance. Um, that's the only part of this whole thing I don't like. I don't like what weird like back turning front, like weird middle school show choir moves they got going
Who?
on. Jericho Appreciation Society.
Oh yeah, no, that's so stupid.
Yeah, I don't like
I'm sorry, you
that.
said Jericho. My brain just stopped processing because I don't care.
Yeah.
I
Um,
quickly have gotten to where I don't care. I loved the whole thing to begin with, and now I just don't care.
yeah. So the Appreciation Society comes out there, being very celebratory. Matt Maynard put over the JS hurling Ricky Starks to a table. Um, well, Chris Jericho celebrated sending Action Andretti back to the minor leagues, except apparently he didn't because they were interrupted by the two baby faces. They came out there. It was some back and forth, words wise. Starks kind of fumbled his part of the promo a little bit. Um, Hager trying to sound intimidating too when he says words like "I'm gonna slap your face all over your face."
I like this hat. Just stick with
Yeah,
that, shit. Just
yeah.
stick with that.
Just say I like the hat and move on. Um, so that closes out. I mean, obviously, this was just to show that the Starks, Andretti, and the JAS thing is not done. We're still going to get some more stuff from that. The matches will be great. Um, I'm not sure what was going on with his promo because Jericho is one of the best in the business with the promos, and Starks is really good too. So I'm not sure what happened with this. That leads us to the main event of the evening, which is the final of the best of seven series for the AEW World Trios titles. Um, Good lord,
Right.
I was
This
spent
match
by
was
the time
all
this match
over
was
the
done.
right. But is it just me or did it seem like it ended really quickly and oddly?
No, I felt it was
I just it
pretty
felt like
normal
it just
ending.
kind of was an abrupt ending. I wondered if it was going to be an abrupt ending and we were going to get like House of Black or something.
Hmm.
Um, because you could give me that feud all day long.
Yeah, I mean that seems like the obvious choice to go to is to have that happen. Um, but I mean they've got the thing going on with Kingston
And Ortiz, I
and
know, but
Ortiz at the moment.
I, I just, I don't know. It felt like a weird ending to me.
I mean I can see that I guess. I mean him getting the title. The only thing that seemed odd to me about the ending is that Hawk was down on the floor and it looked like he would have been able to get in the ring, but
Well, and the other problem with this was, and we talked about it from match 4.
mhm,
It was 3-1, and they announced the next 3 matches. We knew where this was going.
mhm.
If you'd have announced them one at a time, I'd have been much more on board with this. But I watched this match, and by watching it, I mean it was on, but I wasn't paying a ton of attention to it, other than when I heard the crowd react.
Yeah.
Because I I knew that the Elite was winning this. Like there was no question in my mind.
I don't disagree. I think we called this like within the first couple of matches of this that this was Elite's way of solidifying them as the title owners. Um, a couple of spots on it. Ray Phoenix sent Nick Jackson off with the top rope with a Hurricanrana, and he hit legs first on the ladder, which was amazing. Um, I'm really surprised he didn't tear a hamstring or something doing that. Um, um, Matt Jackson's rolling Northern Light suplex culminated with one onto a ladder. So he was doing the rolling Northern Lights, then ended the last one on the ladder.
Yeah,
Um, so Alex knocked over the
Abrahantes.
ladder. What's that?
Alex Abrahantes.
Yes. I'm glad you said it. I wasn't gonna. Um, Knocked over the ladder, taking Matt Jackson off of it, and then Brandon Cutler came in and sprayed him in the eyes with the gimmicks. Penta delivered a fear factor on Matt to Matt on the ladder that was suspended between one ladder and the ropes. It was really sick looking. And then Omega responded by doing a one winged angel off the ladder to Phoenix.
That was
Uh,
nasty.
yeah, that looked rough. Pac followed that up with a 450 splash, but then Omega got the knees up, and then that's what led us to Omega climbing up the ladders, and
Like
he
I said,
got the
it
title.
just that ending just felt kind of rushed,
Hmm.
or would it at this point be kind of ruched? Is that what that
uh-huh.
was a good one.
That was a good one. I'm good with that. But
Overall,
yeah,
good show. It was a good show overall. Like I said, I felt like the ending was kind of anticlimactic because I had no doubt from match 4 that this was how this was going to go.
yeah,
If we'd have been 2-2 at that point, okay, because then we could have traded off 5 and 6.
yeah. And that
But
was kind
being
of the thing. Is like,
3-1,
yeah, when we got to the point where it's like, well, they have to win the next ones to get to the
yeah,
final, we knew what was happening. But we are where we are now. It'll be fun to see where the elite go, as
yeah.
far as who they feud with now. Like we said, like the obvious choice seemed to be at the time that we lead into House Black, but House Black has their thing going on right now with Ortiz and
We
Kingston.
still may get that because there's no reason they can't do more than one.
Yeah. Um, I think the only thing that would keep me away from that is that it would cause them doing double duty on some stuff. Um,
Fair enough.
so
I
I don't know. We'll see.
honestly, I kind of hope their next challenge is United Empire.
That would be fun.
Bring Osprey over and the other two guys, which were both really good, and I just can't remember their names.
Yeah.
But that would be hella matches.
Yeah, it certainly would be. And anytime you can put Osprey in a ring,
With
especially
Kenny
with
Omega.
Omega, oof,
Yeah.
that's going to be a good match.
Well,
Um,
and if Fish and O'Reilly hadn't left, I'd say, well, we got Adam Cole and Red Dragon.
yep. Um, but people don't seem to care about those two anymore, so I don't know.
Because they fucked it up in NXT. When they
Well,
split,
their
when
their,
they
their comeback into AEW wasn't that hot either.
it wasn't, but then Adam got hurt
Hmm.
and Kyle got hurt, and it just kind of stopped it all. When they broke up the Undisputed Era in NXT, people stopped caring about O'Reilly and Fish.
Yeah. Um, it'd be good to see where it goes. I mean, there's obviously some trios that are there. It seems like everybody I'm thinking of trios wise is kind of tied up with something. So it'd be interesting to see who we go with. Or maybe we just kind of hang out with it for a while and do other things. I don't know. But they're the title holders now. About damn time, in my opinion. Like that seemed to be the natural winners of the trios tag titles.
Right.
To get them off the ground. So I'm glad to see we finally are there. But we'll see where it goes next week. And of course, we'll also see what happens on Rampage. So that wraps up this episode. I feel bad, like I'm not going to have your pointing on it this time.
Right.
Thanks for spending your time with us. If you are enjoying our podcast, please support us. Share this episode and our channel with
Just
others.
picture me pointing at the bottom of the screen.
That's right.
Like I do every episode. If you've been here, you know.
That's right. If you don't know, then you should know. So get to knowing. Share this episode and our channel with others. Follow us and hit us up on all the socials down below, including our new TikTok. So come see us on that. It's a lot of fun. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us right here on youtube.com, Kicking Attitude. Until next time, I am Michael. The blank screen there is Tori.
To Chelsea the teeny wave, and I'll say bye this time.
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.